guys, welcome to today's video and to my channel if you're new here. I'm Debbie, if we've not met before, hello. And in today's video, I'm super excited for this. We have got the Melt Impulsive palette. It's an old palette I know, and it's one that I've wanted forever, and it never came to Beauty Bay, but Melt had a sale on it, $25 with free international shipping, so had to pick it up, and I really want to use it. It only came yesterday, and I'm getting this video up today. This is how excited I am for it. So if you're wanting to see me create a look with the palette and hear my initial thoughts on it, then please keep on watching. Okay, I've scooched you in a little bit. First thing I've got to say though, before we get started, look at the outside box packaging for this. It's all little pictures of the owners, all like from the past, and there's a bit of a theme to the palette about that as well. I always keep the boxes the palettes come in, and I appreciate when they make a bit of effort with those. But this is the palette. I'm sure you guys have seen it before because, as I say, it's not new. And it opens up and it's got kind of tiers to it. So you have these little plastic inserts to kind of stop each shadow melding into the other. But I don't know if I can show you on the side, if you can see it's all stepped up and down. And you've got one side of the palette is all like shades from when they were party girls. So the names are things like, I don't know, Tipsy, Shots, Drunk Text, etc. And then on this side it's sort of more when they were a grown-up sensible pair running a brand. So you've got things like Boss Lady, CEO, Dream Big, Go Getter, etc. I love the theme of this. I just love the whole concept of it. It's big and bulky and probably not the easiest to hold up, but I just really like it. So I want to play in some of these pretty shimmers. These ones kind of a calling to me today. There's not really a matte, or there's no mattes on this side, it's all shimmers on this side. But I think I might get away with this one, Boss Lady, as my crease shade. So kind of going across here. So that's kind of what I want to do, I think, today. But as my looks always do, it'll evolve as we go along, I think. I think it'll be easier if I hold it up that way. So I've got my brush in my hand. So I'm going to go in with Boss Lady first. And I've already primed using the Kaleidos primer. Oh, I like this one. That's a smoky burgundy shade. That's a Debbie kind of shade. Already loving that. Yeah, I've already primed with the Kaleidos primer, the Tone Activator primer. That one creases really badly on me, so I've set it with a bit of translucent powder. And Melt shadows are ultra pigmented anyway, always fine. So setting them with powder doesn't really cause any issues. You can still see really good quality of pigment when you do it. I'm going to try and bring this crease shade up quite high on this sort of corner. Kind of lift my eye a little bit at this corner a little bit. I'm explaining that very well, I don't know, but you can see what I'm doing. Grabbing a little bit in that corner there. I think it's probably because I am so warm. It's going to be a heat wave in the UK this weekend, and it's kind of cloudy but warm at this time of day. It's only 7 o'clock in the morning. This is a Thursday morning when I'm filming this. It's already about 20 degrees but muggy, so not my favourite combination. So if you can hear any noise out of the window, I had to have the window open because with these beauty lights it gets super warm in here anyway, even in the winter. So because I've got my ring light and I've got 2 softbox lights either side of me, lights behind me, I like my videos to be pretty light. So this Boss Lady shade is stunning. It's taken a bit of building up to get it to the kind of opacity that I want it to be, but I love a burgundy sort of, I don't know if I'm even describing it right. It's like a grape burgundy kind of shade, but it's gorgeous. We have got a weird sticky bit there, which I'm not in love with. But we haven't got it on this eye, so I think it's just, that was just a bit warm there. So I'm sort of going for an oval shape, but a little bit kind of higher on the outer corners than on the inner corners. Don't want the lower lash line too blown out. I think I'm going to go in with Boss Lady again, but I'm just going to press it onto my lower lash line with a smudge brush. And just connect up with the shadow that we've got in that corner there. I think I'm going to go to about 2/3 of the way across so I can wrap some shimmer around. I always like to do that on the lower lash line, or quite often I do. I was excited for this palette because I don't have the Gemini palette, because the colours on the kind of Boss Lady side are very similar to the Gemini palette. So I don't feel like I need that one now. I still want it, but I don't feel like I need it. I'm just going to try and connect the two there. I've got a bit of a weird gap going on. I didn't want it to get too grunged out, and it still has a little bit. You can see some yellow in my waterline, by the way. It's the Lethal Cosmetics gel liner from yesterday. I just can't get it out. But we'll go over with something else. They're hard to remove, they last so well. In my outer corner then, I'm going to go in with this shade there, which is Crossfaded. And I'm not going to use any glitter primer today. I'm going to try and do these shimmers as a bit more soft, I think. Pretty pigmented anyway from Melt. A little bit of fallout, so I'm just trying to press it on rather than swiping it, but it's really pretty. I'll sort the fallout out off camera a bit later. Kind of going for a soft satiny sort of shimmer rather than a popping blinding shimmer with this look, and I think that is what I'm getting, so that's good. I think what I want to do is bring that kind of almost like across my lid a little bit, kind of like on a diagonal. And then on the inner part where I've left the gaps there, I'm going to go in with Shots. That one's a lot more lilac-y and soft than I expected, but I'm not hating it, I think it's quite nice. Trying to just fade in those two shimmers along that line that I've kind of created. Dragging my brush backwards and forwards there. Just back in with that cross-faded shade, the blue, just to make sure we haven't lost that on the lid there. I'm just going to take a bit more of Boss Lady, the matte that we started with, just to help with this blend in this outer corner. Just kind of blend the mattes into the shimmers just a little there. I'm going with a nice big fat fluffy blending brush just to pretty much blend everything now. It's got no additional product. Did struggle to blend out in that corner, I don't know if you can see that. What's new, not the best at blending. In this inner part that I've left here, I'm going to go in with Popping Bottles, this shade. That's a pretty shade, it's just opening up my eyes just a little bit in that corner, I think. That's one of those shimmers that leans a little bit green, and I think would look beautiful with the green mattes and this on the lid. So I'm going to bring a bit of colour into my waterline, go over that yellow kind of traces that are there, and I'm going to use Boots from ColourPop. First time trying a ColourPop gel liner, I'm excited. Oh wow, they're really easy to use, they just glide on. Okay, I'm going to nip off camera to finish the look, but before I do that, I've also got a highlight, which is why I've got no highlight on, to try from Melt. This is Pink Moon. It's a glowy blush kind of highlight hybrid for me. I'm going to diffuse it out with JH14 from Jacqueline Hill Morphe brushes, and just lay that softly on the cheek there. Oh, that's beautiful. I didn't really want to try these because I know I'm going to love them, because I've heard so many people say what they're like, and I know I like this kind of a formula. Got this one in the Beauty Base sale, so it was cheap, but all of them are back up to normal price now, and I'm like, I'm going to want more. That's really pretty. Okay, so I'm going to hop off camera for mascara and a lip, as I say, and I'll be back with you to show you the finished look. Okay, here's the finished look, guys. And for lips, I finished it off with a raspberry pink shiny lip. I just thought it really suited the vibe of the look and pulls out that colour from that Boots liner. So I've got in with a combo. This is Delighted Mood Crayon by Linda Hallberg. And then I've topped it off with Hypnotize Lucid Lip from Kaleidos. If I'm going to ever do a glossy lip, I like it to have some colour. And if I go with a gloss over a liquid lipstick or a bullet lipstick, it'll bleed up into my lines. But if I use a pencil first, because they're very matte and they've got a lot of staying power, that doesn't happen. So top tip, if you're my age or you have that issue and you want to wear a opaque kind of colourful glossy lip, that definitely works for me. But I love the colour combo. Those two really suit each other, I think, together, those two lip products. So thoughts on the palette then? Well, I haven't used much of it, clearly. I've only used, what, 4 shades? Not even that. Yeah, 4 shades. So I've used Boss Lady, I've used Shots, I've used Cross Faded, and I've used Popping Bottles. So 3 shimmers and 1 matte. I'm really eager to play in this side, all these grungy greens. I think it's a autumnal colour story, and that's probably when I'm going to get more use out of it, to kind of do all these autumn leavesy kind of looks. I think it's perfect for that. I think there's quite a lot of muted kind of shimmers that are a similar tone to one another on this side. Like if this is their party side, it's not that party-ish to me, and I think could have done with probably a blue matte of some description, even if it was just a deep blue matte. But then I do have one of those in the stack that they brought out, the blueprint stack, so I think I could just dig that out. But if you were looking at this for a standalone palette, there's a lot of mattes on this side and lots of options, but they don't really go so much with the ones on this side. But I think this shade's quite a versatile shade, this Boss Lady shade, because it does lean a little bit purpley, and I think it did work really nicely with these shades. I can see quite a lot of looks in this palette actually, but as I say, some of these shades, like these two, are quite similar to one another at the top there, I think. That one looks a little bit, I might be wrong, but a little bit sort of lackluster. I'm not really like a fan of that one. So there's some that I'm really like loving. Like I love the shade of that one. That's going to look stunning on the lid with some greens or even some oranges as crease shades. So yeah, mixed kind of opinions about the colour story, but really happy I've got it because I love the grungy tones in it. And I actually really like the packaging. It's bulky, and you're going to have to keep the little squares that kind of block off all of the different layers, otherwise the shades will mix if you're not careful. But I do keep my palettes pretty pristine. I'm not too concerned about it. But I'm a Melt obsessive, you guys know that. And so to be able to add this one to my collection for a bargain price, I'm so happy about that. So I'm sure a lot of you have either got the Gemini palette or you've got other palettes from Melt already. You probably don't need it. And if you want to recreate something like this, any sort of grey, kind of purple, smoky kind of tone in your outer corner, and then a blue shimmer but nothing too kind of shimmy, like a satin I suppose I'm saying, and a lilac, and then just an inner corner highlight and a pink eyeliner, and you're good to go. You absolutely don't need to buy the things that I'm showing you when I'm doing it. I was just super excited to play with this palette today and inspired to do so, and that always is when I make the better videos, I think, if it's something I really want to play with. So hope you enjoyed watching, guys, and let me know, did you like the look? Would you recreate it? What things have you got your eye on as well? I've got my eye on a couple of palettes. I was like on a low buy / no buy, don't want to buy any makeup, and a couple of things have dropped. I wonder if you guys can guess what it is that I'm super excited about. Drop some comments and let me know, how well do you know me? But as I say, thanks for watching. Hope you're having a lovely day or night wherever you are, guys, and hopefully catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.